Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to make a video out there for people that went through what I went through, all right? And one of the one of the things I went through when I was 19 was I was starting to lose hair, right? As you can see, I'm bald, right? And that took like it really bothered me there for many years, right? Now past I'm like 28 now, so a lot of years have passed by. And with time, I started to understand something how lucky I am. You know, I was very, very lucky that I only lost just my hair. I didn't lose anything more vital, like something in my body shut off or something, or some hormones stopped working. It was just my hair. And that is something I feel very privileged by, knowing that the only thing I ever lost was my hair. I didn't lose a toe. I didn't lose a vital organ. I didn't lose a vital hormone. I didn't lose my mental insanity, saneness. I didn't lose anything of much value other than the superficial value, just hair. And the more I think about it, the more I feel privileged, knowing that that's the only thing I've lost. And of course, I'm gonna be losing more in the future. I'm gonna be losing a lot of other stuff. Probably, I'm gonna continue losing my youth. Of course, you can work on it and still be functional. You're always gonna lose your youth, but you can still be functional if you continue to exercise and make sure you have a certain exercise regimen and diet. You can still be functional up to your 90s, especially when now scientific nowadays with science that could be possible, living a long life and being functional and not being a person that's bedridden. But coming back to the topic of boldness, I feel like it's not that bad, honestly. You live with it, of course. You gotta clean up, of course, to be more presentable. But other than that, I don't think it's that much important. It was, it's, of course, it insane in your mind. You're always gonna be thinking, like you're always going to be looking at other dudes around you with the same age as you, as you're 19 years old or 21 or 20, and you'll be looking at the dudes that are the same age as you still having the hair. But the thing is, nobody in this lifetime is going to have the same amount of stuff throughout their lifetime. They're going to continue losing something because that's the price of life, right? You lose your youth, you lose your functionality, you keep losing more and more and more until eventually the only thing you have left to lose is your own life. So it's kind of sad, but that's just the way life is, really. So eventually they will also lose. They will lose their youth. They get stuck in wrinkles. They also some and the things a lot of percentage of dudes going bald increases in the 50s or 40s. So and then, and if they don't lose their hair, hopefully the only thing they lose is just their hair. Honestly, that's a positive. Just losing just your hair and just being functional, it's a blessing in disguise, honestly. But some of them probably will keep their hair, and that is good to them. Genetic wise, some guy got to do it, right? Some will continue having hair, but eventually it would get worse and worse for certain people, genetic wise. So yeah, I think for all the 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds listening to this, there's so much ahead of you, man. It's not even a joke. There's so much ahead of you in life has to offer. It's the hair is nothing, dude. I know I'm not. I don't want to sound like those dudes. Like, yeah, it's not, bro. Like I went through what you went through. Like I went through that path of constantly insecurity. Insecurity is like written. Yeah, like I'm full of insecurities for many years. I remember I even had a period where I literally just wore hat. Wore hat. I still wear it sometimes today, especially when it's raining and stuff like that. But the amount of mental strength you need to just walk around with just this hairstyle, Nowadays I'm not 100% perfect. I like to work around with fully shaven head, like bald shaven head more easily than walking around with like horseshoe head because it doesn't. I start feeling insecure. So I still have a lot of work on, but I'm not anymore like insecure for being bald. It's just that I don't like this hairstyle. That's about it. But it does grow on you. Eventually, if you get a beard, you just move on it. I'm working on keeping this hairstyle maybe in the future. Keeping it on the low, and so on. Working on it. Eventually, you get to a certain point, of course. I think where you don't really care about it anymore. You don't feel anything about it. And of course, if you're thinking other people are gonna feel something about that, you will be mistaken. Most people are focusing on their own life. If I asked you about your neighbor, do you think about your neighbor much? You're probably gonna be saying no, right? You see him a couple of times a week, you're like, all right, yeah, and then you move on with your own life. That's just how everyone else is. Most people think about their own life more importantly than others. So why would they care about your bald head when they have several other things they have to focus on? You know what I mean? So, but that's just insecure speaking. I've never had anyone actually come up to me and talk about my bald head. Only my insecurities. But most people didn't give a fuck, or they didn't care about that kind of stuff. They just focused on their own life. Sometimes people came up to me, asked me about advice and other stuff, but that's it. You know what I mean? I saw all the young guys out there that's worried about their hair, losing their hair, man. Nothing. Look, you know what I mean? It's out there. Nothing to worry about. And just you can also shave your hair and get your own shaving regimens and so on and so forth. And I think, yeah, you have a lot of life ahead of you, man. You're nothing to worry about. As a dude that has gone through exactly what you went through, I can definitely tell you this. You have nothing to worry about. Life is still good, man. Life is still good.